Welcome to My Utmost for His Highest for January 8th. Is my sacrifice living? Let's look at Genesis 22, verse 9. Genesis is the first book in the Bible, and we're in chapter 22. I'm going to start with verse 8. Abraham answered, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. And the two of them went on together. When they reached the place God had told him about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar, on top of the wood. Then he reached for his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham. Here I am, he replied. Do not lay a hand on the boy, he said. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your son, your only son. Is my sacrifice living? This event is a picture of the mistake we make in thinking that the ultimate God wants of us is a sacrifice of death. What God wants is a sacrifice through death, which enables us to do what Jesus did, that is, sacrifice our lives. Not, Lord, I am ready to go with you to death, Luke 22:33, but I am willing to be identified with your death so that I may sacrifice my life to God. That's really good. We seem to think that God wants us to give up things. God purified Abraham from this error, and the same process is at work in our lives. God never tells us to give up things just for the sake of giving them up, but He tells us to give them up for the sake of the only thing worth having, namely life with Himself. Those hands are loosened immediately by identification with the death of Jesus. Then we enter into a relationship with God whereby we may sacrifice our lives to Him. I have in little parentheses here, to do His will. It is of no value to give God Him your life for death. He wants you to be a living sacrifice. I'll read that again. He wants you to be a living sacrifice, to let Him have all your strengths that have been saved and sanctified through Jesus, Romans 12, verse 1. This is what is acceptable to God. And I really like that. I think too, sometimes people think, oh, I need to sacrifice and go be a missionary in Africa or some remote place. And really, He just wants us every day to be surrendering to Him and then to be doing His will. I love there's a saying too that says, the problem with a living sacrifice is that it keeps crawling off the altar, and that's true too. Some days we want to be sacrificed, for God, and some days we're like, I want to be over here doing my own thing, But it's important every day just to be surrendering to Him and just living for Him. And then He can use us because it's like there's a big puzzle, right? And we're one little tiny piece of that. And He can kind of move those puzzle pieces around wherever He wants during the day to get His will done. Maybe I'm going to have an interruption or distraction. I think I'm going this way and God calls me over here, but over here's someone named Joe who needs my help today, right? So I hope today that you just look at a sacrifice to God as not just dying, for our death, but through His death, we have the strength and we have the power that we can live, really live, and go out there and do great things for Him and to be helping other people. So today I hope you are a living sacrifice for Jesus, and I will see you back here tomorrow. You can order your own copy of the My Utmost for His Highest devotional book by going to utmost.org. And I would love to answer any questions you may have about faith in Jesus. Just email me through my website, nancyjoytoyou.com. And I hope you go out and shine for Him today. See you tomorrow.